So in this video, I'm testing out Ram Eco Diesel. The most interesting thing I like about this truck is the air ride suspension. So I know in the video I say 4 inches a few times. I did research to make sure I was right, and of course I was wrong. So this is released by Dodge right here. So Off-Road 2 is the highest setting, and that's 2 inches over normal ride height, which is 0.6 inches over aero mode. So if you add that together, you get 2.6 inches of adjustment from the lowest to the highest setting. It looks like a bigger difference than that on the truck. Maybe it's closer to 3 inches, but anyways, I think the air ride's really cool. It did ride kind of stiff with it cranked all the way up, going through some sand, but just the ability to have aero on the highway and then pull off the road and not be dragging your bumper everywhere is outstanding. I think it's the best feature this truck has. Also, I like the skid plates and the fact there's a lot of steel. Doesn't have a lot of aluminum or wires hanging down. I think you could do some decent off-roading with this truck with the air ride and with the skid plates and stuff. I just wish that this one had the factory locker and some Meteor tires. But enjoy the review. It's just an interesting truck. It's my buddy, so I got to go do some hard four-wheel drive launches in it and stuff like that. We had pretty poor 0 to 60 times, but once we figured out that if you get the turbo spooling and then launch it in 4, it's not that slow. But just pulling away in two-wheel drive very gingerly, it's not amazing throttle response. It's really relying on that turbo.
Well, there's the torque. So you video this and it'll overlay your 0 to 60 times on top of it. It's pretty slick. 60.
It's ready.
That's better.
That's a lot better.
That's a lot better.
I think we're below 9.
Oh yeah. 8.8. Nice. I'm gonna do it 2,000 RPMs.
Wow.
It's pretty aggressive.
That's what I was thinking.
We're gonna shift to 2 now for better steering. So we're gonna go up to 100.
Unfortunately, we're probably gonna have to.
Yeah, I won't get too close to him.
All right, so just tested out this 2020 Ram Eco Diesel. It's pretty loaded. It's got the air ride suspension front and rear. That is my favorite feature. This is all the way down in aero mode. It goes up 4 inches from there. It looks like it's got a 6-inch lift kit on it. It's very cool. Big wheels and all that stuff. You'll see the 0 to 60 time. Not a blistering 0 to 60 time. I think the best we got was 8.5 seconds. I'll post the video. But the interior of this thing is absolutely beautiful. It's a great place to sit. Electric steps. Everything's very soft leather. Really smooth, sexy interior. A lot of the buttons you do have to rely on the screen for, which kind of drives me crazy, but it's really nice in here. Similar to that Dodge, it's got like this tray thing that slides, got a port up there. It's got a lot of USB-C ports. AC seats, very nice. I'd say they're on par with my Silverado as far as actually blowing some air. They do get a little noisy on the loudest setting, but nice place to sit, cool truck. This thing's loaded. I don't even want to know what this thing costs, probably $65,000, $70,000. It's got that crazy tailgate that they're putting on these things now where you can open it like a barn door, and it's got this big frame thing down here, and it's also reinforced in the corners. Very interesting setup. Pretty convenient for throwing stuff in the bed. I think the towing capacity on this one, it's got the highway gears in it, is like, I don't know, 9,500 pounds. And then he's been constantly getting between 27 and 30 miles per gallon on a pretty long commute in a 4-wheel drive truck that's this big and heavy. That's really impressive. When we were driving around, we were doing 0 to 60 pulls and 4-wheel drive launches and stuff like that, so we didn't get the amazing gas mileage, but we put in 4-wheel drive, drove through some sand, did some burnouts and stuff, and it's all pretty good. And when you crank this thing up all the way, it's got some serious ground clearance. Also, unlike the Ford, the bottom of the truck's actually a lot of thick steel, a lot of nice skid plates and stuff like that. And like I said, when you crank it up all the way, you could actually go through some off-roading without scraping your bumper on stuff. It looks real low right now, but I swear it goes up at least 4 inches from where it's sitting once you crank up the air ride. So that's quite a nice feature I'd like to have. But it is, it's a 3-liter Eco Diesel, so a little slower. And then I think if it had the lower gear option, it would be a lot faster off the line. If you boost it up to like 2,500 RPMs and kind of dump it in 4-wheel drive, get the turbo pulling, it's a lot harder to launch. We're able to shave off 1.5 seconds by just, playing with the RPM at launch in 4-wheel drive.